Flacco now. Underneath, he hits for Sen. This one up to the 35-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll lead here to a third down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Flacco looks to throw, and he finds his man, Kamar Aiken. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Fresh set of downs here. Flacco gives to Forsett. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
A gain of 3, second down. Time to meet the offensive starters, and time for us to introduce you. You already know him, but Justin Forsett.
His face goes on the poster of those who just need an opportunity. A backup for much of his career. Once he received the chance to be a #1 runner, he's taken it and moved on fast.
On second down, Flacco to throw. Over the middle to Smith. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 4 on the play. And just like that, it's third down. Quickly now, a look at the Buffalo defense.
Marcel Darius, year in and year out, plays at a Pro Bowl level.
And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on third down. Flacco to throw here on third down. Looking here for Smith downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Holding offense. The penalty is declined.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. And this will be called officially a 66-yard attempt. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Chance there from long distance to get our first points on the board. How close was it to getting there? Pretty darn close.
One man in the backfield. That's McCoy. Now they'll run it on the toss. Spinning again. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. So McCoy adding to his yardage total in this one. Last year, 895 yards in his first season in Buffalo. Of course, he had Charles 4,000-yard years in Philadelphia.
And you know the man they call Shady wants to throw some shade at the Eagles for ever letting him go. He wants a big year in 2016.
A fake to McCoy. Now it's Taylor. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Here we go! Man 38!
On third down, Taylor. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Timmy Jernigan in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
So on fourth down, the Bills call on the punt unit and Colton Schmidt. Pressure comes as he gets this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they can hold him.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I know we always worry about when a running back is over the age of 30. But Justin Forsett didn't have a lot of carries prior to 2 seasons ago.
And last year, you remember, of course, he missed 6 games with a broken arm. Of course, the Ravens, they had a litany of injuries in 2015.
They missed his 1,266 yards he gave them in 2014.
The former All-Pro Marcel Darius brings him down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Flacco, and that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Taking it about the 16. He won't go down. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. All right, this is a guy that needs no introduction to the league. He has been around quite a while.
And it's good because when he looks around his huddle, he may not have guys with the same experience he has. Maybe some of the youngsters. And his veteran leadership should help them along the way.
On first down, it's Taylor. It's complete to his tight end, Charles Clay. And he lost the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Well, this is Forsett. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays. But I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. A break from the ground game here. Flacco. He hits his target. Left side, Watson. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
They come out here in the eye. Now a play fake here on first down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Only 2 yards on the completion at second down.
Partners, a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On second down for Seth. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. So 3rd and goal. The defense in the dime.
Can still bring pressure.
Now it's Flacco. He's got time, and he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
And right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be, because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football from that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area, though.
Yeah. There's always a receiver in the area.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
And this will be a touchback, so a first chance here in week 1 to see the ball be brought out with the new rule to the 25-yard line. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more step in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And a look at the offense that is hoping to put some points up in bunches here in this one. Now Taylor with a draw to McCoy. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
A draw play is called because you think you've either found a gap or you're using the aggressiveness of the defensive line against itself. Not on that play. Totally controlled the middle of the field. Offense had nowhere to go with the ball.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Taylor. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Charles Clay as tight end. And it's 4th down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now because a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner. And usually he's able to use his body and catch the football. But a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
Here's Colton Schmidt now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the out cut. And that play didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a third down and 6 to go.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started. Extra DB on the field for the Bills here on third down.
Yeah, maybe thinking pass. And he finds his man, Kamar Aiken. 9 yards on the play and a first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
About defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They stay on the ground, force set again. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a third and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Third down, Flacco from the gun. Underneath, he hits for set. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. It's the Ravens out in front. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Off the give from Flacco for set. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch. Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. Setting up to throw, Flacco. And that's complete. It's Watson. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
A red zone first down for Flacco. And Aiken with it over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. And the seemingly endless drive continues. Once more, it's Flacco. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, You can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll try to run with Forsett, and he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there, and if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle, keep coming after them, put the pressure on them.
Again, Forsett trying to run inside, but nothing there. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Benjamin Watson, his first touchdown as a member of the Ravens. And the Ravens will extend their lead. And that was touchdown pass number 1 of the season for Joe Flacco, back out there looking good.
And I think that people may look at him in a different light now because Joe Flacco has a Super Bowl ring. People always wonder, is he an elite quarterback? How about the return from the ACL injury last year to be ready to go? Opening week, phenomenal rehab job by him and the training staff.
That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Here we go. What?
Again, it's McCoy. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Colton Schmidt now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Ravens offense back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Flacco to throw again on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense. Third down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. Here's Sam Cook now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Now a fair catch is called for and taken a few yards across midfield. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They'll throw on first down with Taylor. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Sammy Watkins, 53 yards. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
Dan Carpenter now for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. After the TD, here's Carpenter on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Ravens taking the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And here come the Bills. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. 3 yards to go on second down. Now Taylor going to hand this one off to McCoy. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll try and run for it with McCoy. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down.
I know it's the first half, but it's still hard to curb the enthusiasm for that stop. 3rd and 1, and the offense can't get there. The defensive team has got to feel very good about themselves. Great job out-leveraging the offense.
Here's Colton Schmidt now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Here's the Bills defense now as they head out to defend here. They've certainly got something to build off of. They had the interception last time out.
And now they have to just make sure they're cognizant of not trying too hard for interceptions. Once you get one, it makes you a little more antsy to try and get another one. Now they got to be careful of double moves, different things like that against them. But they like the momentum that they've begun to build.
We'll see if they can keep that momentum going.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
A give. This is 4th down. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run.
We got three, fellas, we got three. Ready!
They'll try and get it with 4th down. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the 1st down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Come on, let's go!
On 2nd down, here's Taylor. And he's got some space here. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Two minutes to go here in the 1st half. We're back to Baltimore after this. Coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our 1st half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. Throwing now, Taylor on 1st down. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them. And they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Going to throw deep for the end zone. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the 1st down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You played through the receivers. And on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
Taylor hit. He lost the football. And now the Raven defense is going to call a timeout. It's just their 1st, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will knot us up at 10. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
I'm here all day. Hey, move 45. Move 45.
Throwing here on 1st down. Flacco. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Incomplete on 1st down. Now Flacco on 2nd. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down.
Can't believe they even let you play.
And again, it's Flacco to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Over the middle to Smith. And he's brought down. 18 yards on the pickup there. And the Ravens are going to have a 1st down. And there they went crossing route against his own defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Once more, it's Flacco. That is caught at the 7-yard line. That is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Benjamin Watson, as the first half is winding down, and the Ravens have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They go play action here on first down. He's got time in the pocket. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times. In the next case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Matt Elam. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Both teams have done enough to be leading here to this point. But in a close game, you know the second half is going to have some more twists and turns, which should lead to some excitement. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Third down from inside the 40, with plenty of pressure this half and another sack. This will go as a loss of 5. Ravens with it now early in the second. Here we get a quick pass and completion, and finally on play 14, they score, pushing the lead to 10. Now first and 10, quick pass, and Sammy Watkins comes up with the catch. And 53 yards later, he'll go in for the score, cutting the deficit to 3. Ravens have it on 2nd and 5. Watson's going to haul in the pass, and after the short pass, he'll score. That puts them up by a touchdown. So that'll do it from here in Orlando. Let's turn it back over to Brandon and Charles in Baltimore.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Ravens defense, they get ready and they trot back out onto the field. And the interception the last time, their third takeaway of the game, Charles.
They're just flocking to the football so well. And not only are they doing that, they're making big-time plays and taking it away from them. Big hits, big plays. They're looking very good in this ballgame.
You said flocking, flying to the football. Coaches always use that, don't they?
They really do. It's almost it goes back to the old, when they click off the frame at the end of a play, they want to see all 11 defensive guys in that picture. In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys that play the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers. There's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
7 yards remaining here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Taylor hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And 1st and goal is what it will be at the 6-yard line. Excellent field position.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so. One of the things that's really difficult for an offense is often identifying how to block a 3-4 defense. Well, when they're coming on a blitz, even more difficult. They're elusive targets and hard to hit.
On 2nd down, Flacco to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's 3rd and goal. Third and goal, Flacco. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Zach Brown with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So put another 3 on the board. And all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the 3rd quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
7 yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
3rd and 2, now Taylor. And got a man, it's Woods. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
It's a gain of 14 there, and it'll give the Bills a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On the ground with McCoy. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
I know the focus is LaShawn McCoy here, but the defense is doing a really nice job. He's nowhere near his normal yardage total in this game.
Yeah, such a prolific rusher, well up over 6,000 for his career. How have they kept him down?
Well, a lot of gang tackling, getting to the point of attack with a number of people, not creating any creases or cracks for him to find his way through. As you know, with that agility and vision he has, he can always pop a big run. When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Third and 11. And some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. Here's Taylor. Finding time. He'll rifle this, and Woods has got it. Buffalo touchdown. Robert Woods, 35 yards. And the Bills draw a bit closer. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Now Carpenter to add the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead's now down to 3 at 20-17. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. After the TD, here's Carpenter on to kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. What a spin. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Play fake to Forsett. Now Flacco surveying the field. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On first down, this is Forsett. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's a really nice play to be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Again, they run. Again, it's Forsett. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. 20. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. He had been held in check. Now he breaks that big run. Shows the explosiveness we all knew was there.
All right, tell the truth now. You knew it was just a matter of time, didn't you? We've seen this so many times from him. Hold him down, and then breaks out.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. They come out here in the eye. Here's Flacco. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Zach Brown in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, surprise, surprise. 1st and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decided to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll give it to Forsett. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Justin Forsett, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. That time a 6-play drive. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Bills offense comes out ready to take over. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
On 3rd down, Taylor going to drop this off to McCoy, complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
They find some open field here. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And they get 28 yards on that one. And it'll be a Buffalo first down.
Oh, he's got it going early in this one. That's the Shady McCoy. That's vintage right there, right? Breaking tackles, creating explosive runs. And if they don't take care of this early, look out. This guy's going to have a big, big day.
You know where he got that nickname Shady, by the way?
I know you're going to educate me on it. Help me out.
Mama gave him that name when he was a youngster.
And if Mama named him Shady, we're going to call him Shady.
Absolutely. They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So it'll be first down here after the run. Taylor going to give now to Williams. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. They go now to McCoy. He's seen a ton of action this afternoon. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. They'll go again to McCoy. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
You have to love and admire the effort because he almost broke free in the backfield, but you also have to love and admire what the defense did. Swarmed the play and made sure he couldn't get anywhere. A loss of yardage.
And Carpenter knocks it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
And a look here now at Jeff. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Off the draw from Flacco, it's 4th down. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Flacco off play action. And that's caught by Smith. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Oh, the spin. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. It'll go as just a 15-yard punt. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and now it's 2nd down.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
2nd and 10 now. It's Taylor. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Taylor. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Colton Schmidt now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Ravens. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
They come up in an offset eye. On 2nd down, Flacco to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That one goes for 24 yards. That man can leap, Charles. How do you defend a pass like that and a receiver that good?
Partner, you're really doing it through prayer because you can cover them totally downfield, but at the end, their athleticism actually allows them to uncover themselves and go over the top of you and make a play.
Now a run with 4 cents. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Flacco here on 2nd down. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. 8 yards still remaining here on 3rd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd learned at ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds. Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Ravens defense as they head out to set up shop. Their stay on the field last time was short-lived with a 3 and out. Let's see if they can get some more of that.
And ordinarily, you want to be on the field playing, right? But 3 and out, that's almost gold to a defense. Get to the bench, get some rest, turn the ball over to your offense.
We'll see what they can do here, see if they can force another 3 and out. They go play action here on 1st down. Looking deep downfield. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Naturally, we're going to say it was a poor pass, but the defensive guys say it was just a great play by them. They broke on the football, picked it off, and gave some momentum to their team.
The Bills now making their way back out onto the field. They did their job last go-around, forced the punt, hoping for more of that here.
They got off the field. That's exactly what they wanted to accomplish. Get off the field, turn the ball over to their offense, and kick back and enjoy a little bit of water and rest before they have to go back out there again.
Back out there now and hoping to hurry up and get more water and rest. Spinning past him, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
But it was stopped on that play. We said plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. 3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Here's Sam Cook now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team.
And the returner has that invisible shield around him. He deserves that space. Didn't have it there. That's why the penalty comes out.
Awareness goes on both sides of the ball. The guys chasing it down have to know whether the ball is going to be caught, fair caught, whatever, so they don't contact the punt returner.
One man in the backfield. That's McCoy. Now Taylor over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. Now a 20th carry here for McCoy. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Second down to the offense needing 5 yards. Taylor with a give to McCoy. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. He'll look to throw, and he's going to have his tight end here. It's Dre. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw. This is caught. Watkins. 5 yards, a good run there, and now second and goal. He's back to throw. And he's got his tight end Clay. Touchdown, Buffalo. Charles Clay, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game.
Love the excitement we've got going here. If they just scored the touchdown, they're down by 1. How much fun is it now to figure out the possibilities? Kick the extra point and tie it. Go for 2 if they're really feeling in a gambling mood. What do you do in this situation?
I think you kick the PAT.
Yeah, I do too. Kick it, get my defense ready, and try and stop them one more time.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And he will find his man on the outside. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it's a second down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Flacco. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Pressure mounting. Flacco. They'll set up the screen for Forsett. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. A chance for us to look at this Baltimore defense again. They've been put in a little bit of a tough spot here with the ball already across midfield, partner.
And I think this is where you actually ramp up your aggressiveness on defense. You don't just sit back and let the offense do the dictating. You've got to go after them a little bit because you're already in a bad spot due to...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Now it's Taylor. He's got time. He's got a man complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. One man in the backfield. That's McCoy. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. This give is to McCoy. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. McCoy. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
We just saw what a lot of teams call a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game. That signifies they want to run the football. Yeah, occasionally they'll play action and throw it, but most of the time, those guys on the field means strength, power, run the ball behind them. And now what a lot of teams are doing is they're taking an extra offensive tackle and putting him in a tight end number to give them even more blocking power. And we just saw it on that play.
And just a heck of a final drive that you and I just got to witness.
We got to see calm, cool, and collected in action, didn't we? That allowed them to go down the field and score the game-winning points.
So for the Bills, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they will head home next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.